$1.8 million. That's the magic number financial planners say you need to retire stress-free. But I'm about to show you why people with $5 million still panic at 3 a.m. about money, while others with $400K sleep like champions. Because here's what the wealth industry doesn't want you to know. Money stress isn't a net worth problem. You've been taught that financial anxiety is simple math. Not enough money? Stressed. Hit your number? Relief. We're conditioned to believe there's a finish line, a dollar amount where you finally feel safe. And you probably clicked this video thinking I'd tell you the real number you need, right? But financial peace isn't a number you reach. It's a skill set you master. I've interviewed over 50 people across the wealth spectrum, from $200K to $10 million net worth. And here's the pattern nobody talks about. The calmest, most financially secure people weren't the richest. They were the ones who learned 4 specific psychological frameworks that millionaires use to build unshakable financial confidence. And here's the empowering truth. Every single one of these frameworks is teachable, which means financial freedom is available to you right now, regardless of your current bank balance. For 2 years, I studied high net worth individuals and discovered something the wealth management industry buries. Past a baseline threshold, there's zero correlation between account size and financial peace of mind. But there's a perfect correlation between mastering these 4 mental frameworks and feeling wealthy. The data proves this isn't about luck or privilege. It's about learnable skills. If they learned it, so can you. Today, I'm breaking down the 4 psychological frameworks that separate people who feel rich from people who feel broke, regardless of their actual wealth. These aren't budgeting tactics or investment strategies. These are the mental operating systems that self-made millionaires use to build genuine financial security. By the end of this video, you'll have the exact blueprint to rewire your relationship with money and build the confidence that no market crash can shake. But first, let me tell you about the millionaire who had a panic attack in his Porsche and what it revealed about the real source of money stress. Body point number 1. Master the satisfaction lock. Defeat lifestyle inflation forever. Here's the first millionaire skill most people never learn, the satisfaction lock. Your brain has a feature called hedonic adaptation. It's designed to recalibrate what normal feels like every 90 days. Get a raise? Your brain adjusts. New car becomes invisible in 3 months. This isn't a flaw, it's evolutionary. But if you don't learn to override it, you'll chase money forever and never feel wealthy. Here's what actually happens. You hit 100K income, then 200K, then 500K. But your stress doesn't decrease, it just gets more expensive. You're not comparing yourself to your broke 25-year-old self. You're comparing yourself to your neighbor with $3 million, or your college friend who sold their startup. This is the treadmill that keeps high earners feeling broke. But millionaires who feel truly wealthy, they learn to lock in their satisfaction baseline. Here's the framework that changed everything. Right now, literally pause this video if you need to. Write down what enough looks like. What house makes you genuinely happy? What car? What vacation? Be specific. That's your satisfaction baseline. Now make a rule. That baseline doesn't move for 5 years, regardless of your income growth. I met a surgeon who went from 200K to 850K in income. His rule? Keep living on 200K, bank everything else. While his colleagues upgraded to $2 million homes and felt poorer, he felt like he'd won the lottery. Same income growth, opposite emotional result. In your life right now, if you make 60K, lock in satisfaction at 60K lifestyle. Get a raise to 90K, your lifestyle stays at 60K. Suddenly, you have optionality, breathing room, and the psychological experience of wealth, even if your net worth is still building. This skill matters because without it, wealth is impossible. Not mathematically impossible, psychologically impossible. You'll hit $1.8 million and immediately feel poor because you'll be comparing yourself to people with 5 million. The satisfaction lock is how self-made millionaires defeat the one enemy that destroys wealth faster than any market crash: their own escalating desires. Master this, and you've learned the first skill that separates people who feel rich from people who feel broke. And here's the beautiful part. This skill doesn't require money to practice. You can master it right now with whatever you currently earn. You can lock in satisfaction, but here's where most people still fail. They're tracking the wrong scoreboard entirely. This next framework saved one couple $300K in stress. Body point number 2. Build for optionality, not net worth. The freedom metric. Here's the second millionaire skill: optimizing for the right variable. Most people play the net worth game. They watch their accounts grow and think that's winning. But wealthy people who feel secure, they're playing a completely different game. They're tracking optionality, the number of choices they have. Here's the distinction that changes everything. You can have $2 million and zero optionality if it's locked in retirement accounts you can't touch, or if your lifestyle burns every penny of investment returns. Or you can have $300K and massive optionality if it's liquid and your expenses are low. Financial peace doesn't come from the size of your number. It comes from the choices that number unlocks, and that's a learnable skill. Let me show you two people. Person A, $2 million net worth, 1.8 mil in 401k, 200k home equity, earns 150k, spends 145k. Person B, 400k net worth, 150k in accessible accounts, 50k cash, 200k home equity, earns 80k, spends 55k. Who has more financial security? Person B. And it's not even close. Person B can quit their job tomorrow and survive 2+ years. They can relocate, take a 6-month sabbatical, handle a $30,000 emergency without blinking. They have optionality. Here's your framework. Stop asking, how much do I have? Start asking, what can I do? Can you walk away from your job for 6 months? Handle a $20,000 surprise expense? Take an opportunity that pays less but excites you. If not, you don't have optionality, and your nervous system knows it. Action step. Calculate your runway, monthly expenses, times how many months you can survive without income. If that number is under 6 months, building that is more valuable to your financial peace than maximizing net worth. This is how millionaires think differently. They build freedom first, then wealth. This matters because most high-income people feel trapped despite significant assets. They've built a life that requires their income, so they've got golden handcuffs. They optimized for the wrong metric. The millionaires who feel free, they learned early that liquidity and low expenses create optionality, and optionality creates peace. You don't need to be rich to start building optionality. You need to spend less than you earn and keep some money accessible. That's it. That's the skill. Master it now with 40K, and you'll use the same framework at 4 million. But even with satisfaction locked and optionality built, there's a deeper layer, one that explains why people with millions still wake up at 3 a.m. in cold sweats. This is where most financial advice fails completely. Body point number 3, identify and rewrite your money script. Heal financial trauma. Third millionaire skill, understanding that your money stress lives in your nervous system, not your spreadsheet. Psychologists call them money scripts, hardwired beliefs formed from early experiences. And here's what nobody tells you. No amount of wealth fixes these without conscious intervention. I talked to a woman with $4 million who still hoards hotel toiletries. Her parents went bankrupt when she was 12. A guy with $6 million checks his portfolio 15 times daily because he watched his dad lose everything in 2008. Their logic brain knows they're secure, but their nervous system is running old software, and that's not their fault. It's just a skill they haven't learned yet. Here's the framework wealthy people use. First, identify your money script. Finish this sentence out loud right now. When it comes to money, I always feel like whatever comes up immediately, that's your script running. Common ones? It's going to run out. I don't deserve it. I need more to be safe. People will judge me. I'll lose it like my parents did. Next step, where did this come from? What's your earliest money memory? Not asking you to do therapy, just making the unconscious conscious. Because once you see the script, you can start rewriting it. Real example? I had a script that said money creates conflict because my parents fought about it constantly. So unconsciously, I sabotaged my income to avoid conflict. Once I identified it, I could rewrite it. Money is a tool that creates options and reduces stress. Took practice, but it changed everything. Your move? Write down your script. Find the origin, then consciously write a new one. Read it daily for 30 days. This is exactly what self-made millionaires do. They debug their mental code before it sabotages their wealth. This skill matters because financial trauma operates below your awareness level. You can have $1.8 million and still feel the exact scarcity panic you felt at 19 with $1,800. The number changed, but the operating system didn't. And that OS will sabotage every financial decision you make. The millionaires I studied who felt genuinely secure, they'd all done this work. They knew their triggers. They understood their 3 a.m. anxiety wasn't about their actual situation. It was an old program running. And here's the empowering part. Rewriting your money script doesn't require wealth. It requires awareness and repetition. You can start today, regardless of your bank balance. Lock satisfaction, build optionality, heal your script. But there's one final framework that ties it all together. Miss this one, and nothing else works. Body point number 4. Define purpose-based wealth, your enough number. Final millionaire framework, knowing the difference between fear-based wealth and purpose-based wealth. This is the skill that determines everything. Most people are accumulating money to run from something. Fear of poverty, fear of looking unsuccessful, fear of being the family disappointment. So they pick a scary big number like $1.8 million, hoping it'll finally make them safe. But fear-based goals are bottomless. You hit the number, your brain invents new fears. What about inflation? What if I live to 100? What if the market crashes? There's no finish line because you're running from something that's already inside you. Wealthy people who feel secure, they're running towards something specific, and that's a learnable skill that changes everything. Here's the framework. Describe your ideal Tuesday. Not vacation, not retirement, your actual regular Tuesday 5 years from now. Where do you wake up? What do you do? Who are you with? What work, if any, fills your day? Be detailed. Now, reverse engineer the cost. That life requires what? Maybe $80K a year? Maybe $150K? But probably not $1.8 million in investment returns. Real example. I met a couple with $850,000 who retired at 51. They got crystal clear. Modest house in Portugal, simple life, creative projects, time with grandkids. Cost? $65K a year. With 4% withdrawal, they needed $1.6 million, but realized that their spending rate and side income, $850,000, was enough. They pulled the trigger. They're thriving. A guy with $7 million, still grinding 80-hour weeks at 58 because he never defined what the money was for. No amount will ever feel like enough because he's running from fear, not toward purpose. Your move right now? Write your ideal Tuesday. Price it. That's your actual enough number, and I guarantee it's less than you thought. Suddenly, you're not chasing an arbitrary $1.8 million. You're working toward a specific, meaningful life. That's the shift that changes everything. This framework matters because it transforms money from a scorecard into a tool. When you're clear on purpose, you stop comparing yourself to others. You stop hoarding. You stop panicking because you know exactly what winning means for you. And here's the truly empowering part. Purpose-based wealth works at every income level. You can define your ideal Tuesday and work toward it whether you currently have 10K or 10 million. This isn't about being rich, it's about being intentional. That's a skill anyone can master, starting today. The millionaires who feel wealthy didn't get lucky. They learned to define enough based on what they actually want, not what fear demands. You can learn that same skill right now. You learned the LOPS framework self-made millionaires use. Lock satisfaction baseline. Optimize optionality over net worth. Rewrite money script. Define purpose-based wealth, not fear goals. Started thinking 1.8 million was too much or little? Now know peace isn't a number, it's skills. Stressed $5 million millionaire skipped them. Calm 400K one mastered. In 17 minutes, you got tools separating rich feeling from broke feeling, regardless of balance. Learnable skills, not luck. Stress isn't 1.8 million, it's LOPS mastery. Might find you have enough, or build more and enjoy without fears. Truth? Millionaires learned via trials. You got blueprint fast. First move, ideal Tuesday and cost? You're wealthier knowing enough. Own it.